Hello and what's up Javers, Javaers, or Java coders maybe. Java is actually a little Java framework. Never mind though. So in this video we will be talking about if and else statements and conditionals in Java. And conditionals are what make a programming language a programming language. So it's the decision you make, your program make based on certain conditions that you provide. For example, you're writing a program for your website that has content that you aren't supposed to watch as a kid. So you need to check whether the user visiting your website is an adult. So the question arises, how do we determine if the user is an adult? Well, that's no question. You simply ask his or her age because under 18 is not an adult. So we will declare an int age and set it to 18 for now. And instruct our program to say welcome to the user if his or her age is greater than or equal to 18. If age is greater than or equal to 18, and that is the syntax of our if statement in Java and many other languages. So we'll type if, then in parentheses give a condition, which is age is greater than sign equal to 18, and then inside the block the code we want to execute if the condition is true, like we did for methods in our previous video. So if age is greater than or equal to 18, we want to display welcome in the console. So we will do a CISO welcome, and we run it. It prints out welcome since the age variable we set is 18 and 18 is greater than or equal to 18. So our condition returns true and the code block is executed. And let's recall our knowledge from the previous video and ask age from the user instead using the scanner class in Java. So import java.util.scanner and then print enter your age in the console. And since age is an integer, we will use sc.nextInt method and store it in our age variable. And run it again. It asks for your age, enter something greater than 18, and it prints out welcome. And run it again and enter 16 this time. It does not say welcome to kids. Easy peasy. But the program you wrote is still lacking if you look at it. Yeah, it does nothing when our condition returns false. So in this case, we'll write another if statement and tell our program that if age is less than 18, then just print out are your parents home? Or maybe just say you are under 18. So the user knows what's going on and can enter false information the next time he visits your site. Just kidding. Let's run it and enter something less than 18. Enter, and it executes the if block of the second if statement because the first one returns false, so your compiler skips that one and executes the next one as it returns true. But a much better way and easier way of doing that would be to use an else statement. So just replace this second if condition with the else keyword and run it, enter 16, it gives the same result. So putting it simply, you are telling your program that if the age entered is greater than 18, welcome. Otherwise, say you are under 18. And this else can't be used in the program without being preceded by an if statement, which is quite obvious. And let's not end it here. We want our program to be intelligent, not just make some random numbers, break it totally. Like if the user enters a negative integer and we know that age can't be negative, because you can't outlive life before there is even life. So that would be very dumb of our program to execute the same else block even if age is negative. So we'll write another if statement, say if age is less than or equal to 0, CISO age can't be negative. Everything looks good and should work fine. So if we run it, enter age like minus 12, it prints out you are under 18 and age can be negative because this is true for both the else condition and this second if condition, so it runs both of them. But we don't want that, and to solve that issue, we use the else if keywords after our if statement. Else if age is less than or equal to 0, then print out age can be negative. And run it again. Enter a negative integer. We only see age can be negative in the console this time. And this formation is known as an else if ladder. It's like saying if the age of user is greater than 18, do this, else if it is less than 0, do this, and if everything fails and returns false, do this. And in this way, we can add as many else if statements between this if and else to just add more conditions the way we want. Like write else if age is greater than 100, so enter a valid age, because people past that age usually die. So run it, enter 101, and it says enter a valid age. Very smart, of course. And I apologize for the background noise, it's just a fan, I'm sorry. So anyways, keep in mind that this if statement works only if the condition returns a true. And to demonstrate that, let me just remove this else if and else statements and cut this condition from if statement and just write a true here. So this is the basic syntax, and if we run it, enter any number we want, this condition will always run and print out welcome, irrespective of whatever you enter, as the condition provided is literally true. And if I set it to false, it will always skip the code block, as the condition is literally false. And also, let me just set age to 20 for now and so our condition below, paste it and run it. You will see it prints out a true in the console, and this true is what we pass to the if statement as a condition, and it executes and will be skipped if the condition returns false, like if age is 15 or something. And finally, before we end this video, I want to talk a little bit more about these if statements, and start by just remove everything except our class and main method. So the next program we're going to write for your let's say amusement park, which checks if you are above 18, and also if whether you have money to squander for a specific ride you come across. So your program has to verify both your age and your money. So we declare a variable int age and manually set it to say 20 for now, and also a boolean has money and set it to true. And then write if, and in the braces goes our condition, age is greater than or equal to 18, and say so welcome. And then an else condition if this if condition fails, and inside this else so sorry you are too young. Yeah. Try to make things more human and less robot, so it's fun to interact with. And if we run it, it prints out welcome, as age is greater than 18. But in addition to that, we also need to check if the user has got money. So we will write this if condition inside this if condition. If has money equals true, then cut and paste this welcome message inside it, and then write else and so we ain't giving free rides. Very descriptive. So the way it works, it first checks if you are 18, and if you're not, it tells you that you are under 18. And if you are 18 or more, it executes this code block, and inside it we have another if statement, and this if statement inside another if statement, by the way, is called a nested if statement. And then it sees if you have got money, says welcome, otherwise says this. And let's run it, and it prints out welcome as both of our conditions are true. And another thing before we end, you don't really need to compare this has money variable with true, as this variable itself is true. So you can just safely remove that and it will work the same way. And you can use this exclamation mark, which means not. So now this will return a false to compare this boolean with a false. And I know we have already discussed this earlier in the course, as I often try to, so you don't really have to deal with a lot of new things. But if you're new and don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link to that video in the card section of this video in the upper right corner. So definitely go check it out. And the last thing I want to talk about is that you don't really need this nested if statement, so you can just use this and operator and write this has money in this if statement. And returns true if both the conditions on its right and left are true. And this code will also work the same way. So run it, it prints out welcome, Yeah, works the same way as it before, but way better. So go ahead and watch the video where we talk about operators and more if you're not sure what's going on here. So that's it for today's video. I've been Raz, signing out.